Dragons in the skies, fire from the boughs, wisdom flowing fast, ancient temples bow, mountains echo tales, ancestors crying loud, heroes of the past, legends worn proud. On golden silk roads, history unfolds, mystics in the night, secrets they hold. Great walls shadow long, warriors in rows, in the courtyard's light, a lotus flower grows. Orchids in the wind, laughter from the light, truth within the sand, cities bathed in might. Tigers leap through time, rivers serpentine, harmony and chaos living by design. Phoenix rise anew, feathers burning blue, forest whisper soft, mind open and true. Scrolls of hidden art, sages they confide, speaking of the jade, time won't divide. Battles lost and won, emperors do reign, people marching on, dreams still remain. Peasant to the king, stories intertwined, every single soul walking a fine line. Orchids in the wind, laughter from the light, truth within the sand, cities bathed in might. Tigers leap through time, rivers serpentine, harmony and chaos living by design.
Welcome back. I am the dust at the feet of God's servants. Only God is special. I hope that I had a bit of an echo going. Hopefully that didn't get caught up on the stream. But it is what it is. It is what it is. We roll with the punches here. And the coughs. We roll with the punches and the coughs. Welcome back. Today is a Valentine's Day special. I don't know what Valentine's Day is about. You know, when you're growing up, everyone's like, oh yeah, it's a special day, you know, where you do this thing. And I was like, I actually don't know where it started from. So I thought we could dive into the little history of it and see what we could figure out. I personally don't really believe in Valentine's Day. I think every day should be a Valentine's Day. You know, if you love someone, you show them all year. You don't just wait until one day in the year to go, oh, by the way, I love you. You know what I mean? You got to have your heart on your sleeve. You got to have your heart on your sleeve in some situations. Awesome. Let's have a quick look at the chat. I see it kicking off already. We got Suvi saying happy Valentine's D. Happy Valentine's, Suvi. Hope you're having a good one. I hope you're having a good day. It is Friday, so Friday would have been a good day. And then hopefully, if Valentine's means something to you, hopefully that's been good as well. D says praising oh, thank you, D. Dropping the links for the praising frequencies. That's my music channel. That way, over there. I am starting to do a few more things on there at the moment. I'm playing around with it. I'm seeing what works with the algorithms. Because yeah, I kind of neglected it for a little while, and I really do enjoy making music. I really do enjoy making the music, but I want to make sure that it's music that I enjoy rather than just music for the sake of music. Anywho's, D says wave to Suvi, happy Valentine's Day, glad to see you, missed you. Jitten says hi demand, what's the plan for Valentine's? I am alone all by myself, but it is what it is. You got to have love for yourself first. Love for God and love for other people. And I love you all. Ninjas, haters, commenters, lovers, all of you. I love you. But sometimes I got to give you some tough love too. Okay, so don't get it twisted. Just because I love you don't mean I ain't gonna tell you when you're fucking up. D's waving. AD. I tried to watch that video you sent me. Oh my god, it was so long and so boring. I tried my best, but I could not watch it. I got through part of it, but I just could not do it. So I don't know if that was your trump card to get me over to the Christ side. I think you might have failed. Jitten says hi. Happy Valentine's to Gossie. Oh, D. Loving the love in the chat. D says, where you been, precious? Happy Valentine's Day all. So he says, I'm not allowed on YouTube. I sneaked on. You got to be a little bit naughty, but it's the naughty and the nice. It's the naughty and the nice. You got to keep it in balance. You got to keep it in balance. D's dropping some roses. Thank you for the roses. So he says, to wish this handsome fella. Haha. Thank you. It's all God-given, you know. This old mug of mine, it's never been something I've been too really focused on, but thank you. I appreciate the compliment, Suvi. It's good to see you here. I'm not gonna lie, it is good to see you back in chat. Precious, why not? So he says, issues at home, I've been naughty. Yeah, but you got to balance the naughty and the nice. Balance the naughty and the nice. D says, beautiful DD, I have enjoyed being out today. Hope everyone else has too. Yes, I hope you guys have had a good day wherever you are, whatever you've been doing. It is Friday. It is Friday. So I hope you guys had a good Friday. And now we're moving into the weekend. So the weekend should be good too. D says, I see Precious. Glad you are back. Precious. Precious, my precious. That's my Gollum. Is it Gollum? I haven't watched Lord of the Rings in years, but yeah, that's my Gollum. Yeah, Gollum impression. My precious. Suvi says, not back for long, gonna pop off soon. Short and sweet. No worries, Suvi. Appreciate you coming up and showing some love. Literally. Thank you. Appreciate it. D says, we got to be all by ourselves. We are never alone. Love you all. Some knuckle cheese sandwiches with extra cheese sometimes. Yes, exactly. Sometimes you need that. You need that little bit. D says, not about war. Yes, boring but truth. Is it about war? Is Valentine's Day about war? Interesting. Well, I've got a couple of videos lined up. I thought we'll dive in. One of them's a history video, and then the other ones are like the dark side of Valentine's Day. And I thought, ooh, that'll be an interesting little video to react to. Jitten says, are you still driving the coach? Unfortunately not. I left that job a little while back. I am currently trying to find another coach job. Miss the coach streams. Thanks, bro. I miss doing the coach streams as well. I like just sitting around doing my thing and streaming. But unfortunately, right now, if I was to stream when I'm not on stream, it would just be me applying for jobs. It would literally be me just applying for jobs, talking to different companies, I've got a few interviews lined up. I've got an interview lined up for an estate agency. I thought, you know what, let's give that a go. Working as an estate agent, I'll be out on those streets a bit. I'll be moving around, and decent money, and it's a good skill to learn. I've already done a bit of sales when I was flying. You'd sell things, and sometimes you have to upsell or whatever. So yeah, or convince people to buy stuff. So yeah, hopefully be driving again soon. Fingers crossed. Everyone cross your fingers. Drop a like in the chat. D says, no, Precious, don't go play a game for Valentine's Day. I think she did the best that she could, which I appreciate. You know, you could only ask of what people can give. You know, only ask of what people can give. Don't ask for too much. D says, yes, the coach streams. Yeah, I know. I miss them as well. I'm not gonna lie. I was watching one of my own coach streams the other day, and I was like, damn, I had fun doing those. It was just me sitting there just chatting while I was driving, but it was just nice to just be with the flow in life and just doing it. This is all set up and everything. It's just, it kind of kills the vibe for me. Kills the vibe a little bit, but it's fine. I still enjoy this, but yeah, I miss the coach streams too. Hopefully, once I get a job again, once I get some money rolling in, I'll be doing my camping stuff. I want, because especially spring and then summer coming up, I want to do camping stuff again, and hopefully do some streams with that. Or if not streams, I'll try and do videos. I'll record the videos and then post them up later. D says, yes, she is precious to me and God. Yes, to me and God as well. Yes, 100%. Suvi's amazing. Suvi's amazing. I've said this before and I'll say it again. She's awesome. D says fly swat sometime. I swat them. D says Proverbs 2:6, for the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. Jit says, I love everyone in this chat, so wholesome. I'm glad. But sometimes you remember, give a bit of tough love. Give a bit of tough love. I kind of liked the interaction between D and who was it yesterday? It was D and someone in regards to the whole I can't remember what it was exactly about, but I love the interaction where they were kind of like jabbing at each other. You know, jabs are fine. Jitten says, good luck on interviews. Thank you, bro. Fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. It's always God's plan. I always try my best. I always go in. Here's a little tip for you guys. If you ever go for a job interview, go in knowing you've got the job. Because if they didn't like you, they would have cut you out on the telephone interview. If they didn't like you, they would have just thrown your CV in the bin. The fact that they've taken your CV, they've spoken to you, and then they've invited you in for an interview, at that point, they like you. But they just want to make sure that you match up as to the idea of you. So go in with the confidence that, hey, I should have this job. Job should be mine. They're just doing some box ticking in order just to make sure that I am who I say I am. I am the way I am. I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, then why would I say I am? Yeah, Eminem. God love Eminem. D says, for your interviews coming up. Oh, yep, praying for the interviews coming up. Thank you. Appreciate it. You. Yes, and the outdoor streams in the park. Yes. I was actually just thinking that as I was saying the thingy. It was the one where I remember the day. It was an amazing day. It was a wedding that was going on. I dropped the people off for the wedding, and then while they were having the wedding, they came outside. They were all waiting for the groom to turn up in the car, and he turned up in the car. They were playing music. They had drums, Indian drums. They were playing Indian drums. It's called a dhol, D-H-O-L. They were playing dhol, and everyone's dancing and stuff. Yeah, I remember it was a good day. And then I popped over into the park when they were done with their performance, and then I just sat down, chilled with you guys. Yeah, I miss those streams. I miss them streams too. Hopefully, fingers crossed, in the future, once I've got my job side sorted out, because every man needs a bit of income. Every man needs to be able to take care of himself some way. So once I get that sorted out, I'll be back on it. D says, yes, well, welcome to interact. D says, give a strong handshake, look them in the eyes, be confident, speak like you have the job, and be ready. Yes, exactly. You know, it's just a formality. On their part, it's a formality. It's like, oh, wait, we like him on the phone. We like his CV. We think he'll be good for the job. Now let's just see if all those three match up with when we actually meet him. So yeah, always have that positive mindset, which is the hope, the humility. You got to be a little bit humble. Sometimes you got to go, maybe there'll be someone who's better suited for the job than I am. But they think I'm suited for the job. Let me try and prove it to them. Truth and love for yourself, compassion for yourself, contentment. Like, you know, you got to go in content. You can't go in desperate. If you go in desperate, you start acting irrationally or you act nervous. You've got to have a bit of contentment in yourself. So yeah, this is why, like I say, with this stuff, it's guided me through so many different situations in life. So many different situations where I think now that's why I try and preach it as much as I can, because no matter what situation I go through, I always find that these kind of lead me. They always help me point the compass north. Jitten says, I think, therefore I am. And praising frequencies, Proverbs 2:6, for the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. And the last message says, God opens doors no man can shut. Trust God. Yes, exactly. I trust God 100%. I wouldn't be doing these streams like I do. You know, if I was that worried about everything all the time, I wouldn't be sitting here telling people to shut up or go away or find another stream if they don't want to be here, because I just trust that my message is my message. Although I talk about all this stuff, I do also say I'm a little bit naughty, you know? I know there's the dark side of me that also is susceptible to lust, anger, greed, attachment, pride, and fear. I know that that's part of me too, but I can't allow that to lead me. Sometimes maybe, you know, you got to be a little bit naughty and have a bit of fun in life, but otherwise it's always truth, love, compassion, contentment, humility, and hope, especially when you're trying to deal with other people. When you're trying to deal with other people, you want to go with these. It's not always going to be easy, and it's not always going to be fair, but it will always teach you something. It will always teach you something and give you some growth in life and let you see things from a different perspective. Oh, I love that. One of my favorite actors is Sean Connery. Sean Connery. Perspective. You got to have a bit of perspective, Sean. These days, sorry, had not link on that one. No, it's okay. It's okay. You're dropping the links as it is. Thank you again for dropping the link, but no stress with the links. I appreciate you doing what you can. While you guys are here and we're talking about links and you doing what you can, hit that like button. It should be right there, just underneath the dash, right underneath the dash. Just hit that like button for me. Jit says, "Lol, not the mask." And he says, "Yeah, leave the mask. You won't get it." Oh yeah, I'm not going to take the mask with me to the interview. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Hi, yes, I'm here for the interview. Yeah, they'd probably run. It's all good. That's quick. I caught up with the chat, so we will have a quick look at this video I've got lined up. So, like I said, it is a video on the history of Valentine's Day. So we'll give this a quick watch and see what we can learn. See what wagwan, because I honestly don't have a clue about Valentine's. For some reason, I'm thinking about Cupid. I'm thinking it's something about Cupid, but you know, we'll see what happens. Okay, let's go.
For all its popularity, history doesn't give us any guarantees as to the origins of Valentine's Day. But we do know it contains vestiges of the early Christian church and ancient Rome.
Okay, maybe that's a bit too fast because I want you guys to be able to hear it too. I'll go 1.5.
The association between mid-February and romance goes back to a pagan festival known as Lupercalia, likely honoring either Lupa, the she-wolf of Rome who suckled Romulus and Remus, or Faunus, their god of fertility. The festivities began with an animal sacrifice.
Ah, pagans. Interesting. This is started off strong. Pagans. And goddess of, I think he's a goddess of fertility, and then obviously this thing.
Romulus and Remus, or Faunus, their god of fertility. The festivities began with an animal sacrifice. Then the ritualistic slapping of young women with strips of the animal's skin and blood to bestow fertility for the coming year. In the 5th century...
I love that. Whipping the women. Okay. I can learn a few things from here. I've whipped a few women in my time, but I could do more of it, especially on Valentine's Day.
Perhaps in an effort to Christianize the pagan festival, Pope Gelasius declared February 14th as St. Valentine's Day. As for the real St. Valentine, there were reportedly several canonized by the Church. Legend has it that one St. Valentine, a defiant Roman priest, lived during the 3rd century AD under Emperor Claudius II. Claudius was an ambitious ruler. His battles required vast armies of men to abandon their young families for long periods of time, resulting in a military that was half-hearted and homesick. So determined was Claudius to stop love from sapping the will of his armies, he banned marriages altogether.
Oh.
Father Valentine.
Oh, okay. No marriages for the army people. That's deep. I think love is important. Love is important in life. You gotta have. Obviously, I've said this before. I'm not sure if you guys may have. I'm not sure if I've said it on a stream, but I said it back when I first started my streams. When I first started my streams, I did this whole thing about the masculine, the feminine, and I went through a lot of knowledge early on, and then I took those videos down. I do want to put them back at some point, but I want to edit them a little bit. But yeah, in one of those, I actually talk about how with love, You want to try not to fall in love. You love people, you love people, but you want to have that love of respect. Falling in love can be a bit dangerous because that can allow you to run but blindly. You need to have balance again with love. And obviously, some people, when they love, they end up going a bit too cuckoo. They go a bit cuckoo and end up hurting people. So you want to have that balance with love, love with the respect.
Valentine thought the ban unjust and defied the emperor, continuing to marry young lovers in secret. The emperor eventually caught on to the priest's actions, arrested him, and sentenced him to death. It is believed that young couples he had secretly wed would visit his cell, passing him flowers and notes through the bars as symbols of their gratitude. The story continues that the condemned Father Valentine fell in love with his jailer's daughter. On February 14th, the day he was executed, it is said he passed the young girl a note. It was signed, "From your Valentine." A tradition was born. Cupid, the winged matchmaker, started out as the Roman god of love, inspired the image of cherubs for Christians, and is now a favorite of card makers and mass marketers. Our modern Valentine's Day, removed from its religious and pagan past, has evolved into one of the most celebrated holidays on the calendar. On average, Americans shower their loved ones with 180 million roses, red ones naturally,
Ooh.
and almost 36 million heart-shaped boxes of candy, not to mention all those cards, dinners, and diamonds. All told, the holiday brings in almost $14 billion annually, giving retailers plenty to love as well. But if you're worried that you can't afford to treat your loved one properly next Valentine's Day, take heart. The poets were right. Love is really all you need.
Yes. The only thing you could really give your partner is your heart. The only thing you could really give them is your heart. You could give them all the gifts in the world, but it don't mean shit. You could give them whatever, experiences. It doesn't mean shit. All you can really give them is your heart, because that's what matters. That's what matters in life. But yeah, that was interesting. I didn't know that there was like this priest who'd secretly marry people. I think that's kind of cute. Kind of cute. But also, like I said, love is a tricky thing. Love is a tricky thing. You need to learn how to love. You need to learn how to love. I think a lot of people just end up lusting, and then end up, when they lust, they don't really fall in love. They fall in lust, and that's dangerous. Very, very dangerous. But that was interesting. Very interesting. And they also mentioned Cupid as well. They mentioned quite a few different parts of history in there. That was okay. So they don't know where exactly Valentine's Day comes from, but like he said, the capitalist industry loves it. One time a year where they know that they could sell all the roses, they could sell all the diamonds, they could sell all the chocolates and the cards. And since we're talking about chocolates, life is like a box of chocolates. D says maybe Superman. Oh, in regards to turning up in the Superman t-shirt. No, I'm gonna go in the shirt. I'm gonna go in a regular shirt. Maybe I'll put the Superman t-shirt underneath, ready to rip it off and strip for them. I'll be like, okay, I don't get the job. How about now? Down, 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 down. No, I will. Jitten says, lol, please not whip any woman unless she likes it. Yes, obviously. And most women like it. Most. D says, sorry, DD, just couldn't get into this type of video of love for couples. Could have picked a better one, not a pagan one. Well, it was a history one. This one was the history one. This one was like I said, this isn't about saying, oh, look how amazing love is. We know how amazing love is. Everyone has love in their life in some form. Hopefully you need, and well, they should have love for themselves. So if they've got love for themselves, great job. But yeah, I don't want to do a coupley video. I'm not trying to do a coupley video. I think love is special and amazing, and it can make you feel like you're on top of the world, or it could destroy you. But like I said, it only destroys you if you're doing it in lust, not in love. So you gotta be careful on how you do it. You gotta be careful on how you do it. It's all about intentions. Jitten says, learning to love is tough. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But that learning to love, the thing is with love, it's never about you. It's about your feelings. It's about your feelings, but it's not about you. It's about the other person. And the other person should have that same love where it's not about them, but it's about you. where you kind of like focused on each other. It's not to be codependent. It's to be it's not to be codependent, but it's to be that whole, I will look out for you first before myself, and the other person will say the same. And this is why, like, when I watch certain movies and stuff, like Wally, I love Wally. Wally's a love story. Like I say this all the time. Life is a love story. Life is a love story. And we got to see the love in life. We got to see the love in life, because it is really everywhere. It really is everywhere. And like I said, I watched Wally the other day, and it was so cute, because it was about two damn robots finding love. Okay, forget the people. It was two damn robots finding love, and because of these two damn robots, everyone else started falling in love as well. The captain started falling in love. He fell in love with life. The captain fell in love with life, and he wanted to go back to Earth. There was these two people who were sitting in the chairs, just floating around, just watching their TV, talking to people. And because they interacted with Wally, they ended up falling in love, because then they took the masks off, let's say the Matrix. They took the Matrix off, and then they realized, oh wait, this is amazing. Oh, we've got a swimming pool, and then they're in the swimming pool playing and stuff. I loved it. It was awesome. There's this one scene where the woman was like, "Get ready to have babies." That was funny. Go watch Wally. Go watch Wally. It's a great movie. D says, God tells you how to love a woman. Read Proverbs 31. Read. Love is equally yoked. Ooh, Proverb 31. Let's give that a quick read. Since it's on the topic of love, Proverb 31. Hopefully it's not a long one. Let me just share that screen. All right. Sayings of King Lemuel. I've never heard of King Lemuel. The sayings of King Lemuel, an inspired utterance his mother taught him. Listen, my son of my womb. Listen, my son, the answer to my prayers. Do not spend your strength on women, your vigor on those who ruin kings. It is not for kings, Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine, not for rulers to crave beer, lest they drink and forget what has been decreed, and deprive all the oppressed of their rights. Let beer be for those who are perishing, wine for those who are in anguish. Let them drink and forget their poverty, and remember their misery no more. Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly. Defend the rights of the poor and needy. Okay, I don't think that's a good little spiel. That's a good little spiel, but that wasn't really too much about love. I think this next bit might be. Yeah. Epilogue. The wife of noble character. A wife of noble character who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She is like the merchant ships, bringing her food from afar. She gets up while it is still night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. She considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her tasks. She sees that her trading is profitable, and her lamp does not go out at night. In her hand she holds the distaff and grasps the spindle with her fingers. She opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. When it snows, she has no fear for her household, for all of them are clothed in scarlet. She makes coverings for her bed. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. I like purple. Her husband is respected at the city gate, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them, and supplies the merchants with sashes. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her household, and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children arise and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. Many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive. The beauty and beauty is fleeting. 100%. Yes. But a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Honor her for all that her hands have done, and let her works bring her praise at the city gate. That's lovely for how a woman should behave, but it's got nothing about how a man. Well, it's got a little bit about how a man should treat her in regards to he should be thankful to her and appreciate her, which 100% you should appreciate everyone in your life, especially if they are there. Like if you have a woman like this in your life and you don't appreciate her, you're fucking nuts. You're absolutely nuts. I even said to I was talking to Wizard once. I think he was on stream or I was on his stream, but he was talking about how his wife bought him a laptop so he could do streaming. And I was like, yeah, that's a good woman right there. A woman that supports you. That's what you want. That's what you want. And you better appreciate that, you better appreciate it. You don't realize how good you've got it. So yeah, I think appreciation goes a long way in life. But is there another verse, D, that is a bit better for what a man should do? Because I'd like to hear that too. I'd like to hear a balanced argument on both sides of the female role and the masculine role. But thank you, D. Thank you. Where was I in the chat? D says, love is equally yoked. Yes, it should be. Yes. You don't want it to be one-sided. You want it to be from both parties. You want it to be equal, and that's the way it manifests best, because then you bring out the best in each other. It's not about being codependent and trying to take something off them and they're trying to take something off you, and you're constantly you're drifting apart instead of working together. You have to work together for the betterment of both, instead of working against each other for the destruction of both. You got to work together. Sometimes it's not easy, but that's the beauty of life. It's a challenge that you have to overcome. It's about finding that ability to work together. Jitten says, D, really? Oh, I guess that's in regards to love is equally yoked. D says 2 Corinthians 6:14, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness? I think it's possible that love can conquer anything. I'm one of these saps. I'm all sappy for love. I think love can conquer anything. And if you are, because this is talking about believers, like in regards to God and stuff, but people can come to God through love, especially if they see their partner has connected to God, or potential partner has connected to God. They may want to connect to God as well and try and get that same kind of relationship so that they're both on equal footing. Because it's about teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work. Jitten says, exactly, love should be unconditional. Yes. That's why, like, even though some people on stream or outside of stream in life piss me off, or I'm angry at them, I still love them, but I love them enough to let them go. I love them enough to go, do you know what? Free will. You could do what you want, you could do what you want. It is what it is. And I say this to you guys all the time. If you want to come up and have a chat, we can. If you want to come sit on stream, we can, but make sure that we're open with each other. As soon as I feel a bit of a weirdness, I'll cut it off. And it's not that I hate you. It's just that I love you enough to let you go do you over there. D says yes to Jitten. Proverbs 31. That's the one I just read. And then D says love Wally. Yeah, Wally's an amazing movie. Wally. I'm a bit of a Wally. D says reading good. Thank you. Try my best. Thank you for reading that. Doing good. Thank you. No worries. Appreciate the appreciation. Jitten says yes, love conquers everything. Yes. Love can do a lot of things in life, but obviously it has to be one-sided love. can only do so much. One-sided love can only do so much. I think there has to be that mutual respect, that mutual love in the first instance in order for them to overcome any kind of situation. D says Ephesians 5:23, for the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. Yes. But the husband is the head of the wife. I think I remember there's something similar to this, and I think in 1 John or 1 John or whatever, I can't remember. I read, or Corinthians, I can't remember. I read it a couple of, not a couple of streams ago, but about 6-7 months ago. I read a thing on this. It was like Jesus or Christ is the head of the man, and then the woman is the man is the head of the woman is the head of the children, and then the children kind of figure life out from them, and hopefully the males in the family connect to God, and the females connect to a good God worshipping man, and then they are led in a good way. They're led in a good way. D says Colossians 3:19, husbands, love your wives and be not bitter against them. Yes, you can't be too bitter. Suvi's back says whips and chains. Sometimes. Listen, what happens in the bedroom stays in the bedroom, you know? Everyone's got their little kinks and whatnot. So it's not about judging. It's about accepting and loving still. Okay? It's all about the love. Okay, I'm not sure what Jitten is correcting there, but he said love is. Geisha's back says Valentine's Day is a capitalist scam. It's used as a capitalist scam. It's like everything. Christmas is now used as a capitalist scam, but essentially it is. If you look past the capitalists, because we could always go down that whole negativity, you know, the fear. Oh, they just want us to spend money. But let's look deeper. Let's look a little bit deeper. Let's try and understand the real reason why we celebrate love, why we celebrate Christmas, why we celebrate any kind of particular festival. Let's look at those. And like I said, for Valentine's Day, it's not about buying gifts. It's not about buying money or having all these possessions. Personally, from my experience, I think the best thing you could give someone is your heart. If someone gave me their heart, that would be the best thing in the fucking world, you know? I think that's more precious than anything you could buy, because you can't buy someone's heart. You can't buy someone's heart. It's something that they have to give you voluntarily. D says Colossians 3:18, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as it is fit in the Lord. Yep. Suvi says, wish I had subtitles, watching stream in mute. Oh no. Oh no. I think you could get like closed captions on where it kind of auto generates the subtitles, and I think my speaking is good enough that you should be able to get quite an accurate understanding of what we're talking about. Jitten says, love of my life, don't leave me. You have broken my heart and now desert me. Where's that from? You've got the quote marks around it. Oh, he says it's a Queen song. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I've had situations where I've loved someone and they've left me many times. But you know, if you love someone, you got to set them free. If they are the love of your life, don't beg. And if your heart is broken, find a way to mend it yourself, because you need to have that self-love first. You can't give your heart to someone if you don't love yourself first. When you love yourself, then you can love someone else. So yeah, that it's a Queen song, but I think I kind of disagree with that. I think that's the whole bad side of love. I think that's the possessive side of love. Love of my life, don't leave me. You have broken my heart and now desert me. Yeah, that's very possessive. Very possessive. Everything we have in life is temporary. Everything in life we have is temporary, and you should appreciate it, because you never know when it's going to go. And that's why, like I said, I've been in loving situations where I love the person and they've left, and I didn't hold any anger or animosity to them. Maybe a bit of confusion, because we all get confused. but especially me. But it's more about just knowing that if you do really love them, you want them to be free. You don't want to chain them up unless it's in a kinky way. D says 1 Corinthians 7:14, for the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Elsewhere your children unclean, but now they are holy. Yes, exactly. So you can have that aspect of an unbelieving and a believer, but as long as they are working towards that, because it can change. If they've got that love there for each other, the real love, not the lust, not the other bullshit of possessive, but actual real love, it could do anything. It can do anything. It can change the world. It could change the world. And like I said, life is just one big love story, you know, constantly love stories interwoven into love stories. It's amazing. Sad sometimes, but amazing still. D says poetry to Jitten. Oh, in regards to that thing. And then he said it's a Queen song. D says the Catholic Queen Mary. I don't know what. Oh, is that the song? Hebrews 13:17. Obey them that have rule over you. Not rule. You see what I mean? I always get a bit funny when these words come out. Rule, no. Guardianship, yes. Because I think even in Christian weddings, what they do is that, and I think this is in most weddings, most cultures, the way they have the weddings is that the father of the bride gives the daughter over to the husband, to the man. Because it's like, okay, I have had guardianship over her, I've taken care of her, and I brought her up the best I can, and now it's your turn to continue providing for her, supporting her, loving her, and helping her grow. You know, helping her grow, because you want to continue growing in life. You want to continue growing in life, and you want to do that with a good partner. So, yeah, I don't like the whole rule over you. And the submit yourselves, I kind of agree with, in the regard of, if your dad has given you over to a good man who is looking out for your best interests, you want to submit to his leadership. You don't want to be constantly trying to undermine what he's told you, because you know that he loves you, he respects you, he cares for you, he wants the best for you, and he's only giving you advice that would help you. Don't get me wrong, this doesn't mean that wives always submit, even if the man is wrong. I think that there is a place for healthy discussion within relationships, but sometimes the man has to put the foot down and go, no, we're not doing things that way, it's going to be this way. So it's one of those situations. It's not about the rule over them, and it's not about constantly submitting. It's about the balance between the guardianship and the respect the woman has for that guardianship. D says that they may do it with joy and not with grief. That is unprofitable for you. Yes. Love should be joy. Love should be joy. Life should be joy. You know, it shouldn't be a constant struggle where you're always in grief, anger, fear. You want to be free, to be you with your other partner, and, you know, be happy, joyful, smiling. Because how amazing is it that you find someone else out of the billions of people that are on this planet, that someone that resonates with you, someone that you connect with on a deep soul level, not just on a physical level, but on a soul level. It's just, yeah. You want joy in your life. You want joy in your life. Jitin says, don't hate the song, Queen is the best. Don't know the song myself. No, I don't know it either. I may know it if I played it, but off the top of my head. He says it's called Love of My Life is the name of the song. Okay. But yeah, it sounds very possessive kind of love. That sounds like possessive kind of love. So I'd stay clear of that kind of love. Otherwise, it will be, as D says it, unprofitable for you. It will be unprofitable for you. D says the man and wife should be one, and she will submit to him and him to her. He rules the household as far as protecting. He So the way I see it is going to be a little bit different from the way you've explained it there. Is that it goes back to what you said earlier. Oh well, it's in reference to something you said earlier that I elaborated on. It's that the man has God as his leader, then the man is the leader of the woman, and then the woman is the leader of the children. So I wouldn't say household, I would say his wife, but the wife would be in charge of the household. So she would make the important decisions in regards to the children and stuff like that. Not to say that she's taking care of the kids by herself, but she's making those important decisions based on his guidance. So he gives the guidance, and then she delivers it the best way she can with compassion, love, humility, and hope and truth to the children. Because children need the womanly touch. Okay, children need the womanly touch, but they need the womanly touch after it's been guided by a good man, not by an asshole. So that's the way it should be. It is what it is. Like, it should make sense. It's not about the man just constantly being over the household. It's no, he could delegate responsibility. He trusts his wife enough that he's able to go to the wife, okay, I trust you. I've told you what I expect and what I want from the children and from you, and then allows her the free reign to enact this love and compassion way of teaching the children. And it's a good teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work. And once again, it's not about the woman doing all the work, it's just about the way things are taught. And the father would obviously come in for discipline and other situations as well. He'd come in for the kids, listen to your mom, just give him that little look, like, kids, listen to mummy. That's all you need. Just and then the kids will respect mom as well. And that builds a healthy relationship between the children's the kids and their dad, and the kids and their mum. And then they see that the relationship between mum and dad is strong as well. It's not that complicated. It's not that complicated. People make it complicated because life gets messy, because they've not done the work on themselves. So this is why I say, try your best to live life with truth, love, compassion, contentment, humility, and hope. And yeah, it opens up doors and understanding for you, because you're doing a bit of cleaning. You're doing a bit of cleaning. You're getting rid of the cobwebs. You're getting rid of the bullshit, and you're trusting each other. You're working as a team, and it leads to great things. It leads to great things. D says, maybe D, bring it up. What, the song? I could play a few seconds of it. But I'm not ready to. I don't want to listen to a whole song, especially if it's going to be about something so toxic that's possessive. Let me get this up. Here we go. Jitten's message. He was like, it's not toxic. Maybe not. But it just sounded it like, it. If it's a situation where it's like the person's passed away or something, then I can understand thinking like, oh, why did you leave me? Like, why did you have to go? But if it's someone who leaves you, then they never really loved you, because love conquers all. Love conquers all. There's another. What song did I listen to when I was? There's a couple of particular songs that I listened to, like love songs, which I was like, yeah, this is the kind of love. Here we go. This is Lifehouse. I've played Lifehouse previously on stream. I think, if I remember correctly, this was a love song. Or I saw it as a love song when I first heard it. Desperate for changing, starving for truth, closer to where I started, chasing after you. I'm falling even more in love with you, letting go of all I've held on to, standing there until you make me move, hanging by a moment now with you. Yeah, so he says that I'm falling even more in love with you, letting go of all I've held on to. Like, that to me is like, yeah, you know, you want to be falling further and further and further in love with whoever you're with. You don't want to just go, oh, I love you today, and then you kind of start separating from that point of love. You know, you want to fall more and more and more in love with the person that you're with, because the joy is there. Every single day is a joy, because teamwork makes the dream work. So yeah, that's the kind of song I kind of like for love songs. But let's get back to the chat. Where were we? There we go. D says 1 Corinthians 11:19, neither was man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. Yes. Talking about Corinthians, I think I remember from a movie. It's one of my favorite movies, actually. It's one of my sappy movies that I like. It's called A Walk to Remember. Corinthians love. Yeah, it goes, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Yeah, I first heard that in the movie A Walk to Remember. If you've not watched A Walk to Remember, watch it. And I think that goes back to what you were saying earlier, actually, D. Do you know where you were saying something about where was it? Here we go. For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. That's essentially what the movie's about. It's about a guy who's a bit of a bad boy, falls in love with this girl who's a devout Christian, and he ends up changing his life, and for the better. He changes his life for the better. You know, he realizes the real importance of life and connections and love. So yeah, great movie. Watch it if you get a chance. A Walk to Remember. If you're a bit of a sap like me, it might make you cry. Here we go. Jitten says, I don't agree. Father and mother both are important for children. Yes, they are. Both are leaders. Yes, they are. But the mother takes the lead from the father if the father is righteous and he's a good man. Basically, he has to be a good man, not just a good man, but like a godly man, because he would have had guidance from God, and then he gives that guidance to her, and then she gives that to the children. It's a knockdown effect. But yeah, they're both leaders in their own right, but the main leader is God, the secondary leader is the man, and the third leader is the lady. He says women are helpmates. I don't like that. I don't like that women are helpmates. I think women should be helpful. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be helping and doing the best they can, but it's not a situation of, oh, you're the housemaid. at that point you don't respect the woman. You just want her. That you remember what I was saying about codependency, where it's like, oh, I'm only with you because you do all the house stuff. It's like, no, you don't want to be with someone because of them doing a job of being a helpmate. You want that. You want that support for life, and you want that support to work both ways. You support them, they support you. Peace. Welcome to the channel. Says there is neither male nor female. Oh, bro, are you one of those? Are you one of those? Are you non-binary, bruh? No, there is male and female. There is male and female, but the male and female can have masculine and feminine traits to each of them. It doesn't mean that male and female doesn't exist. Male and female still exists. Yeah, if you're one of these non-binary guys, you're very lost in the weeds. You're very lost in the weeds. You need to find yourself. You need to find yourself and remember who you are. As we saw the other day with Matrix, know thyself. Know thyself. Jitin says yes to P, only human beings. No, there's male and female, and each one has their role to play. Okay, come on, guys. Come on. I don't want this to turn into a trans bashing stream, but I will if I have to. I will if I have to. I've actually got trans friends. Okay, I've had trans friends, and they're not bad people. A little bit confused, but not bad people. Male and female exist, and each one has their specific roles. But once again, like I said, the male and the female can have both masculine and feminine traits. That's where the balance comes in life. D says both have their roles for nurturing a family. They become one. Yes, exactly. There you go. Me and D are on the same wavelength. Yes, they have their roles. It doesn't mean one role is better than the other. It just means that they have their particular roles. You know. P says only Christ, only God. D says in Christ alone, Christ is the head. Christ is all in all, says P. And there's the it's not toxic for the song part. I love the passion there. I love the passion, Jitten. P says the body of Christ is Christ. Jitten says I love shirtless Freddy. I might do a shirtless stream one day. I've seen everyone else do one. I'm like, I might have to do one as well at some point. D says yes, we are the body. P says everybody is the body. Everybody that accepts Christ, says D. Got to add that clarification, which I don't agree with, but yep, I don't think P agrees with that either. Incorrect. We are in this world, but not of it. We are in this world. We are of it, but we are not. No, we are in this world, but we are not led by it. But we are part of it. Because we all have a role to play. We all have a role to play in life. P says, and you're denying and rejecting him. Who am I denying and rejecting? Jesus. Oh, it is what it is. Like I said, I ain't got a problem with Jesus as a teacher, as a role model, as an example to learn from. The only issue I have is when you worship the flesh. That's the only issue I have with that whole Jesus situation. I understand the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I get that. That's all good. 3 in 1. Get that. No problem. Even with the Muslims, with the 99 and 1. I get that. Even with the Hindus, with the 600 million in 1. I get that as well. You know, I can understand all these different perspectives because you have to look deeper than just surface value. But yeah, the issue I have with the whole Jesus thing is worshipping the flesh. You gotta worship the Father, worship the formless one. In my humble opinion. D says yes, God is long suffering, that no one should perish, but time is running out. Listen, he is calling his love. He will not share with another. No, God shares his love with everyone. Yes, God is long suffering, that no one should perish, but time running out. Listen, he is calling his love. he will not share with another. Oh, okay. You're talking about the bridegroom being the one that he comes down for, right? So you're saying the ones that submit to God. That's what you're saying there, not the others that don't submit themselves to God. He says, no other God, only the Father of love. The Father of love. Jitten says, Let Her Go, Coldplay. Great song. You only love her when you... Oh, yeah. That's a good reference. That's a good reference. Coldplay, Let Her Go. Yeah, no, I agree. It's sometimes... Oh, no, it's not Coldplay. It's Passenger. Passenger, as the French would say. Passenger.
Appointment scheduling.
Great song.
Well, you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. Only know you love her when you let her go. And you let her go.
Oh man, such a good song.
Staring at the bottom of the clouds, hoping one day you'll make a dream last. Dreams come slow and they go so fast. You see it when you close your eyes. Maybe one day you'll understand why everything you touch surely dies. But you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow.
So beautiful. Thank you for this reference, Jitten. Thank you for this reference. I think it was Jitten who gave this reference for the song. But if you listen to the lyrics, he's saying only... where was it? It says, only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Meaning that when we're living in duality, when we're living in this idea of codependency, that, oh, I only need you because of this you give to me, you know, it's not what I give to you, it's all about what you give to me. When you have this kind of love, it's the duality kind of love, but you only really know you love her when you let her go. When you let her go, that's when you're like, okay, I really do care about her, because it's not about me, it's about her. If she wants to go, let her go. Beautiful. Love it. Good reference. Great reference. Yeah, because like I said, there's a difference between possessive love and true love. You know, true love isn't trying to possess. True love isn't trying to control. True love is about you bringing out the best in each other, and you don't do it for yourself. You don't do it for what you get out of it. It's what they get out of it. Love it. Great reference. Thank you very much, Jitten. Jitten says, A Woman Who Forgets Everything. That's a good movie. Oh, yes, I think I've seen that. That's 50 First Dates. Yeah, that's a really good movie. I love that movie. D says, Walk to Remember. She knows what I'm talking about. But Marsh, welcome back, says, The Man, may I ask, what is the utility of a creator God in your life? Teacher, guidance, refiner, punisher, all of them, everything. God doesn't just play a single role, he plays all the roles. He does what he can for us, but we got to appreciate everything. Sometimes we got to appreciate the punishment, and you know, like the woman must submit to the man must submit to God. So when God is punishing him, he doesn't go, oh, fuck you, God, why are you doing this to me? No, You go, no, thank you, God. I will learn my lesson. I will learn my lesson. I will try my best not to be an asshole again. I will try my best. Okay, that's all we can do. Try our best, but we have to be trying. So in that regard, that's what the utility of a creator God in my life, if that helps you understand. But out of interest, what is the utility of a creator God in your life, in case it's something different? D says Galatians 3:28. There is neither Jew nor Greek. There is neither bond nor free. There is neither male nor female. For ye are all one in Christ Jesus. Yes, in the metaphysical sense, yes. There's no duality. We are all one. Yes. But when we're talking about, because the thing is, the understanding of duality is important when you're living in the world. But when you're trying, so like I've said before, there's a spiritual eye and then there's the physical eye. So the spiritual worldly eye and the spiritual eye. The spiritual eye is always looking up at the stars and trying to find God and find hope and find meaning in life, while the physical eye or the worldly eye is trying to navigate the world. And I think this is what Jesus meant when he said that you need to be in the world but not of it. You need to be able to navigate in the world with the worldly eye while you're still focused on, and I've said this on previous streams, I keep my feet planted firmly on the ground while I'm looking up at the stars and praying to God. You've got to have that balance. So yes, understanding that duality is all an illusion is important for the spiritual eye. However, when we're in the physical, we also have to understand the physical, the worldly eye, and understand how things work. You can't do one without the other. Both of them complement each other. It's like I said in the previous stream, it's about finding balance between those two sides. Catherine says Zorro theme tune with Mark Anthony is beautiful. I don't remember the Zorro theme, but I do remember Zorro. I loved Zorro. It was awesome. I used to run. I think I've said this before on stream. I used to run around jumping off the thingy and just pretending to do the Z that he does on everyone. And I ended up making a little mask as well. Yeah. I loved that as a kid. I loved Zorro as a kid. It was a great movie. Although I think there was one particular scene, whenever that would come on, my dad would change the channel. It was the one where Zorro is there with Catherine Zeta-Jones, I believe it is. And he does this whoosh, 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 and then her clothes start falling off and she's just there in her undies. And then my dad would change the channel and then we'd miss part of the movie because he'd go skipping through the channels thinking that something's happening on screen that we shouldn't be seeing as young kids. And then when we came back to it, it was like, oh, what the hell just happened? How did we get here? We'd be begging him. We'd be like, oh, no, it's over. Just go back to it. But yeah, I love Zorro. Zorro theme. I'll have to listen to that. Thanks for the recommendation, Catherine. D says, in Christ, we are seen as the body. Temple of Christ, neither male nor female, bond nor free, Jew nor Gentile, all one in Christ. Yes, from the spiritual perspective, in Christ, we are seen as the body of the temple. Yeah, get that. That's the spiritual side of things. Like I said, we have the spiritual and the physical. We have to respect the physical as well in order to understand the spiritual, and we have to understand the spiritual we have to respect the spiritual to understand the physical. It's multi-layered. Life is multi-layered. It's not just one thing. It's many things. We are all one. D says no doormats. They enhance each other, husband and wife. Yes. You shouldn't be doormats for husband and wife. It's not about treating them as a way to kick the dirt off your shoes. The old expression of you come home from work and you've been shouted at by your boss. So you come home and then you shout at your wife, and then the wife shouts at the children, and then the children shout at the pets, and then the pets bite someone. It's just that constant passing on of anger or something. You want to stay away from that. You don't want to treat anyone like doormats. You want to have that truth, love, compassion, contentment, humility, and respect and hope for everyone. You want to have that for everyone, especially your wife or your husband. Jitin says, please don't, in regards to something. I don't know what that was for, but I guess I did it anyway if it was for me. Oh, probably in regards to D's thingy. Don't, no doormats. They may enhance each other, husband and wife. Yeah. So don't treat each other like doormats. Galatians 3:28. There is neither Jew. Oh, you're Bible botting. You're Bible botting. Matthew 10:33, but whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven. 2 Timothy 2:13, if we believe not, yet he abideth faithful, he cannot deny himself. If we believe not, yet he abideth faithful, he cannot deny himself. I don't know what that's in reference to. That could be taken out of context in many different ways. I'd have to see the context of the way that's written. Jitten says, I'm the father of love. D says, John 10:17, therefore doth my Father love me, because I lay down my life, that I might take it again. D says, John 14:23, Jesus answered and said unto him, if a man love me, he will keep my words, and my Father will love him, and we will come unto him, and make our abode with him. Yeah, I think that's more about the spiritual side of things. John 15:9 says, as the Father hath loved me, so have I loved you. Continue ye in my love. 1 John 4:18, there is no fear in love. Yes, there shouldn't be fear in love. You should have trust, faith, and hope. And you should trust the person that you say you love, But perfect love casteth out fear, because fear hath torment. He that feareth is not made perfect in love. But Marsh says, I appreciate your frank answer. You're welcome, buddy. You're welcome. I try to be as frank as possible. Jitten says, do you think God hurts people you love in order to hurt you and teach you? No, I don't think God... I know there's a reference that you could use from the Bible in regards to Job. And you could say, oh, well, God punished Job's family for trying to teach him a lesson. But I don't know. I don't think God would hurt people you love. In order to teach you a lesson. I guess he could. Because if it's someone... So, for example, if it's... Let's say you've got a couple and one of them doesn't appreciate the other. God might make one of them really sick. And that sickness may end up bringing out something in the other person where they're like, oh, wait, do you know what? I really did not appreciate you as much as I should have. And that's when they may end up becoming closer. It's a tough one. But God is constantly trying to help. There's lessons in everything. So, yeah, maybe when with the Job situation, Job was maybe a bit too attached to his family. Maybe he was one of these prideful guys that went around going, oh, look at my family, it's so good. And that's why Satan was like, oh, do you know what? He only loves you because you give him all this stuff. All he does is go around boasting about his family and how amazing his family is because you love him. Instead of actually appreciating the family for who they are. He was always using it as a way to kind of like a trophy. A trophy wife, kind of like that. It's like a trophy family. For that person, it's about the pride of, oh, look what I have. It's not about the actual love and the appreciation. So that could be the real reason behind the Job story. Who knows? D says, John 15:19, if ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. And the world will hate a lot of different things. You can't look at what the world wants. D says, God hurts no one. He spares people, and sometimes if it is time, he takes them from the world, the pain and things to come. No, God is responsible for everything in life. He's the master planner. It's all part of his plan. And if there's some kind of lesson he's trying to teach us, it's also part of his plan. It's not that he wants to hurt. It's not that he's like a maniacal... I think someone referenced the Superman movie once, where Lex Luthor says that God is an angry kid with a magnifying glass burning the anthill. God's not like that. Anything he does, any kind of badness that happens in your life is to teach you. And sometimes we need it to open our eyes. So Yeah, I appreciate all the badness in my life, even if it fucking hurts, even if it is painful and horrible. I still appreciate it because I'm like, okay, this is teaching me something. I don't understand the lesson right now, but I'll learn it soon. I'll get there one day. D says, yes, spiritual side of things, not carnal side of things. Yes. But you got to have the balance. You got to have the balance, you know? You got to have that balance between the spiritual side and the carnal side, because life is all about balance. It's about the balance. It's not about ignoring the spiritual side and focusing just on the carnal. And it's not just about focusing just on the spiritual and ignoring the carnal. You got to have that balance between the two. Because if you're just the spiritual, then you turn into a monk who becomes celibate and you don't have a family. You don't do what God told you, which was to have children. You know, you got to have the balance between the two of the carnal and the spiritual, where the carnal is led by the spiritual. Jitin says Nicholas Sparks ruined all the teenagers in the 2000s. Thank God we have Rizlords today to distract them. I don't think Nicholas Sparks ruined the teenagers. I think what ruined the teenagers was feminism. This whole thing from feminism to say, oh, you could be the same as a man. And it's like, no. Because at that point, the women are just constantly trying to live up to the roles that men do. And they're constantly comparing themselves to men. And obviously, one of the side effects of that was that men were typically promiscuous. And women were like, oh, well, if they could be promiscuous, we could be promiscuous. And they end up going down a dark route where they end up getting hurt and doing stupidness. It's not about being promiscuous. It's not about being equal in the feminist way. It's about that being equal in spirit as another human being. But like I said, male, female, they have their roles. And the Rizlords right now, the Rizlords are worse. The Rizlords are fucking up the world as well. Okay, the Rizlords are basically like, this is funny. The Rizlords are like, oh, she's a woman who doesn't deserve love. Just bang her and leave her. That's what the Rizlords say. Bang her and leave her. How is that helping the world? That's just gonna make more people hurt. And then also with the Rizlords, you might end up doing this kind of act of banging her and leaving her because you misjudge someone. You might misjudge someone and think, oh, she's for the streets, as they say. You might think she's for the streets. And in the end, what you end up doing is you misjudge them, and someone who could have been a very good partner, very good, balance for you in your life, who could have been your perfect partner, ends up then becoming for the streets because of the way you treated them. You got to have that balance, you got to have the balance. D says ice tray with the ice, not an empty tray. Don't know what that's in referred to, but okay. Jin says, demand, no, please don't do shirtless streams. Why not? A little bit of shoulder never hurt anyone. Or are you just worried that all the women will either run away or come to the stream? One of the two. There's only one of those two options. Either the women will run away or they'll run to the stream. D says, Jesus cannot deny who he is. Jitten says, D, is ye almighty Kanye? Yeshua, Jehovah, Messiah, Emmanuel, God with us. Jitten says, then why do babies get cancer? If you want my honest opinion, it could be a situation where, because I believe in reincarnation, it could be a situation where someone's done something bad in their past life, and both the parent and the child, and this was something that they had to go through in order to learn that lesson of where they maybe abused children, or maybe the child was someone who went around killing people and killed children as well. Maybe that child in a past life went around killing people. It doesn't mean that child is evil. It just means it's part of the plan. There's lessons there we won't be able to see. We won't know for sure. This is just me making a story up off the top of my head, but the truth is that God tries to do his best to help us along the way, but he will help us sometimes with harsh lessons. Sometimes we need these harsh lessons. And the other thing is to remember that life is only temporary anyway. You know, the only guarantees we have in life, change and death. Those are the only two guarantees we have in life. T says, man has created many things that give cancer, but God loves the babies. When they go to him, we will see them again. He took them out of the environment that was destroying them. He loves them. Sometimes this is the thing. Sometimes the babies are born with genetic defects and stuff like that. So it's not in their environment that, you know what I mean? There's something else to it. There's something else to it. And with Christians, it should be easier for you to kind of follow my train of thought in regards to past life sins that they need to repent or learn from, and certain things happen because obviously as Christians you don't believe that anyone is born sinless because of original sin. So you understand the concept of sin being transferred through generations, through different lifetimes. So if you understand that kind of concept, it's also understanding that, hey, do you know what, God is trying to teach us something. It's not him being evil, it's not him trying to hurt us, it's him trying to help us to grow and to be better in whatever regard, in whatever situation. And I know it's not an easy thing to do, especially in that example of a child. And I wish that upon anyone. But it is a reality of life that sometimes these things happen. Even like you guys were mentioning Palestine the other day, there's kids in Palestine that I mentioned who were playing football who got blown up by a missile. And I don't think those kids deserved it, but at the same time, I trust God, and I think that, okay, it's part of some plan, and that it wasn't that those kids were evil, is maybe to save them from potentially turning evil. Maybe it's to stop them from potentially being hurt by other people in other different ways. You know what I mean? We don't know God's plan. We just got to trust. We got to trust. Have faith. Gotta have faith, faith, faith. D says man does not love. They destroy with chemicals, plastic, so much. The food we eat now is mostly poison. Yeah, it is. Wrapped in poison. Yep. It's poison wrapped in poison a lot of the times. But trust God. Have faith in God. Blessing your food can potentially stop any kind of bad effects from that bad food. You know, God can sanctify the food for you. So bless your food. This is why it's important to bless your food, you know. If it is just junk food, it is going to have a serious negative effect on you. And no matter how much you pray, the junk food is still going to be junk food. But if you do it in small quantities, God can help you clear it out of your system. D says, God lets man choose, but he corrects. His ways are higher than ours, and he works all things for the good of those that love him. Plant bad seeds, have bad harvest. Plant good seeds, have good harvest. Yep, for sure. Jitten says, D, are you talking about babies? Me, D, or the other D? I think you're talking to the other D. And she answers, any baby gone is with him. But Jesus said, suffer little children and forbid them not to come unto me, for such things of the kingdom of heaven. Jesus says, I hope so. Yes, believe it. And Matthew 18:3, and he said, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. All right, awesome. I've caught up with the chat. I'm going to play the other video I had lined up now. I was thinking about that in the back of my head as I was going through the chats. The other video is quite quick, so I'll probably play at normal speed. So let's go with this one because it looks animated. And I like a good animated one. It looks like it's made for children, but it's called The Dark Story of Valentine's Day. I like the juxtaposition. I like the... Okay, so I think this is just the story that we heard on the other video. It's basically that he was marrying people in secret. He gets sent to prison, and then while he's in prison, he falls in love with the prison guard's daughter. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That is what it is. Okay. That's that perspective done. Okay. So we know the history of Valentine's Day. It's nobody knows exactly where it comes from. Everyone's got their particular ideas. But the Christian idea, I guess, is that it's about marriage, and it's about how even in the depths of hell, aka prison, you can still find love. You can still find love. You know, I think that's a good story to have. A good story to have. Cool. So, on the topic at hand, is Valentine's Day a scam? Is love real? Who deserves love? Is Valentine's Day a scam? No, but it's used as a scam. Okay, like I said earlier, things can be used as a scam. Typically, scams. I say scams work with the bullshit sandwich. It's bullshit, truth. Oh no, sorry. It's truth, bullshit, truth. So there's bullshit in between the truth. But because you're looking at the truth on top of the truth at the bottom, you're like, oh, it must be the truth in the middle. Take a bite out of the sandwich, and then you realize, oh no, there's bullshit in the middle. That's how I would consider scams. They use the truth mixed in with the bullshit. So Valentine's Day isn't a scam because it's important to be reminded that how love is important, but it shouldn't be done on one day of the year. It should be done throughout the year. But it's nice to have a reminder. But once again, I don't think that love can be bought. It's not about giving presents and trying to buy someone's love. You can't buy anyone's love. Love has to be given to you. You know, someone has to give you their heart, and you have to give them yours. You know, you sustain each other and help each other grow and live with joy. Where was that in the chat? Oh, and in regards to is love real? Yes, love is real. But like I said earlier, there's a lot of people who don't actually love. They fall in lust, or if they do love, it's a possessive kind of love. It's not a love of being there for them through thick and thin, as it should be. You know, through the hardest times possible, you have to be there for them. Love is deep. Love is deep. D says Matthew 18. Oh no, I read that one, and then she dropped a link for another one. What is Valentine's Day? Jitten says, have you guys watched The Promised Land, the story of Abraham? No, I have not. D hasn't. D, check it out. It's funny. You will like it. Very funny and informative. Yeah, I like a good combination of funny and informative. You know, it's really important to try and make education interesting and funny at least. And then D says, do babies and Christian children go to heaven? And dropped a link for anyone that wants to check that out. And that is me caught up with the chat. And the last question we have is, who deserves love? Everyone deserves love. However, you could only love someone that loves you. You know, so you could only open up your heart to someone who's opened up their heart to you. You know, it can't be a one-sided thing. Love is not a one-sided thing. Love has to be a two-way street. So everyone deserves love, but how many people actually get love? Only those that truly open their hearts. Only those that truly open their hearts and are ready to be stabbed in the heart. You know, sometimes you have to be willing to be stabbed in the heart in order to love someone, because you're exposing yourself in more than one way. But anyway, Jitten says, me, I deserve love. And D says, God deserves love. Through Jesus we go to him because he first loved us and came to us. And D says, yes, you. Yeah, no, love God too. But I'm saying you got to love yourself. You got to love God. And when you do try and love someone else, it has to be from the heart. Your heart has to be open for that love. It can't be a one-sided thing. It cannot be a one-sided thing. Otherwise, it's not love. It's codependency, or it's you trying to get something out of them, or trying to have some kind of possession over them. Love has to be from the heart. From the heart of a person. D says no lover of self, lover of God. No. You got to love God, yes, but you got to love yourself too. Okay, because the opposite of not loving yourself is hating yourself. You can't be sitting around hating yourself. That's not a healthy place to be. And I'm not saying love yourself in a egotistical sense of where you love your ego, but you love your heart and your soul, and you love God for these gifts of your heart and your soul, not the ego side. Like I said, love can't be bought. The ego will always try and buy the love. D says God love is patient and kind, love eternal. Yes. And awesome. That's me caught up with the chat, and I think that's it for tonight. We are doing a quick stream, a very quick stream. If anyone, I was going to say if anyone wants to come up, they can, but to be honest, I don't want to open up the panel on this. I think the conversations in the chat have been really good, like the things that you guys have said, the things that you guys showed. That's been good, but yeah, I'm not going to open up the chat. Open up the StreamYard for a open conversation on this one. Maybe another day we'll talk about love again, maybe. But yeah, that's it for tonight, guys. Jitten says if you can love God, then you can love yourself. Yes, 100%. And that's the thing. That's why I say love God and love yourself. When you love God, you can love yourself. But if you don't love God, you only love yourself in the ego sense, not in the way of the heart and the soul. And D says good night all. Good night, everybody. I appreciate you all being here. Lovers, haters, commenters, ninjas. I appreciate you all. Love you all. Happy Valentine's Day. If you've got someone special, go spend the rest of the night with them. If you don't have anyone special, thank God for the life you have and the people you've met along the way, and pray that he puts someone on your path that can open up their heart to you. But yes, that's it for tonight. I appreciate you all, love you all, take it all, and we will end it on a nice good love song. We will end it on Cosmic Dance.
So unbound and fled free, looking for the one soul, longing for me. Broken dreams create new hopes, collecting twigs to build our home. Praying the angels watch over you until the day we become true. Divine union my heart craves, a love that lasts till the end of days. I have found love and it set me free, like this cosmic dance that's walking to eternity. Forever you and me. Life can be hard and tough, always know who you are enough. Let me be your rock through the storm, the lighthouse calling you home. I will always be there to shine the light on your darkest fear, dispelling shadows that linger on, reminding you that we are one. I have found love and it set me free, like this cosmic dance that's walking to eternity. Forever you and me. Ooh. Let's play together in this garden of love, diving deeper into souls from above. Two flames from a single wing, dancing together, wild and quick. Bound by a rhythm soft yet free, moving as one in harmony. I have found love and it set me free, like this cosmic dance that's walking to eternity. Forever you and me. Ooh, ooh. I have found love and it set me free. cosmic dance. Let's walk into eternity. Forever you